Do you want to see how I transformed these thrift finds into elegant Christmas decor? Then come thrift with me to see how to make these Christmas thrift flips. My local thrift store was all set up for Christmas, and there were some really good finds. Watching this video back, now I'm kind of wondering why I didn't grab that sleigh. I just might have to go back and see if it's still there. But let's start with this guy. I mean, he's a cute Santa, but you can tell he's had lots of years going in and out of those storage boxes. His beard is all scraggly, and you can see some yellowed glue on his beard. I'll be using the completely untouched side for our new design, but at least we got that hair off the other side. I don't want that part of his hat sticking out, so I'm just going to pop that off. I sanded off the last bit of hair, and even though this will be the back, I think I will trace and glue this white fabric to the back just so it has a clean finished look. Okay, I got a nice coat of off-white spray paint on here. I think it looks great. So I want to turn this into an angel, so I did a little sketch to figure out how her robe and her hat would look. I'm going to start by mixing up some paint for her face. I think I will try to make her coloring like mine, so I'm doing a peach type skin tone and brown hair, but you could go with whatever color angel you prefer. Now for the robe, I thought this metallic rose gold would be so pretty, but I was really disappointed that it was streaky. I even did a couple coats and it still looked streaky. So I ended up going with my folk art chalk paint in the color Castle, and I've been using this on a lot of my Christmas and winter projects, so I think it worked out in the end. Then I took a gold Sharpie, but it kind of ended up looking like a brownish gray once I put it on this paint. And I used that for her buttons on her shoes and on the face and for her hair. I used some of that white microfiber cloth for her hat, and then I attached a foam ball at the top of her hat. You could also use a small pom-pom for that part. I found this lace doily at Dollar Tree, and I'm cutting out a couple pieces to create a collar. You knew I was gonna pull out my roll of super fancy pearl beading, right? I've been using this on a lot of projects lately. I decided to use the larger beads for the buttons on her dress. Every angel needs some wings, so I grabbed these feathers which I attached with glue to the back. I found those feathers on Amazon, and I'll link them below in case you're interested. Okay, here's a reminder of the before. And here's the after. Wait until you see what we do with this candlestick. Right now it looks pretty as it is. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and it was only $4. There was something on the top, like I didn't know what it was, so I started sanding it, but I quickly realized that it was sticky. So I used some packing tape to kind of grab all that residue, and it worked really well. I think I want to make this the same off-white color as the angel, and I love how it came out. Let's give it a hint of distressing And just as I hoped would happen, you can see a hint of that gold color coming through the white paint. Now let's work on the decoration for the top. I found this gold metal basket at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to gather all the greenery I can find and use floral wire to attach it to the basket. I wanted to mention real quick that today I'm joining a bunch of awesome friends who will also be sharing Christmas thrift flips. I will link that playlist in the description box below so you can check it out when you're done watching my video. If you're new here, welcome to Artsy Cupcake. My name is Maria. I love getting creative and sharing home decor ideas to inspire you to get crafty in your own home. It just takes 1 second to click that subscribe button if you like the idea of weekly budget-friendly crafts. I want to incorporate some Christmas garland, and you can find these garland ties at Dollar Tree, but I want to soften that green a bit, so let's see what happens when we spray paint them. Now, I'm kind of scared to do this because in my last video, I had a bit of a fail trying to spray paint some bottle brush trees. So let's see how these go. These are taking the paint beautifully. Yay, I'm so excited. I really didn't want to waste these garland ties. All right, so I'm going to use those garland ties on the top and bottom to hide the edge of the basket. I added some white poinsettias to any empty spots or places where you could see a little bit of the gold basket peeking through. You can find this porcelain jar at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use it as a stand for our candle. That way if any wax drips down, it'll get onto this little dish instead of on our greenery. Then I placed some Dollar Tree moss all around the inside of the basket to finish the look. And here's a quick look at our original thrift find. Now let's see that transformation. This lantern was another great thrift find. The lantern has winter written all over it, and I think with just a few tweaks we can give it a new life. It has that pretty winter scene on all 4 sides, and I was trying to figure out why it got given to a thrift shop, and I think it's because this candle requires a weird battery. It's certainly not one that I have sitting around, so I'm just going to pop that candle right out of there. I like the look of natural flame better anyway. Now, I'm not a fan of this yellowish looking wood. I think a nice coat of a whitewash would brighten it up and make it look a lot more elegant. Tempera paint is a water-based paint, and it tends to be a bit thin and runny, so I think it will work great for whitewashing this lantern. I started by wetting my sponge brush and adding the white tempera paint to a little bit of water. Then I added a touch of gold paint to make this more of an off-white color. And this will soak into the wood more as it dries. But you can see here on the top the comparison. You can still see the texture of the wood underneath that whitewash, but it has a much brighter and a less yellow appearance, which is just what we're going for. Okay, now that I've finished painting the lantern, let's make a bow using this Dollar Tree ribbon. This ribbon is so pretty. I just found it recently in the Christmas section. It has a satin finish and that little touch of gold glitter makes it really dressy. I think I'll display this lantern on top of a garland wreath, so the bow will probably look best at the top. I looped the ribbon around a few times. And then I cut 2 slits on either side of the center and wrapped a little bit of floral wire around the middle to hold it all together. Then I pulled out the loops, and that wired edge on the ribbon helps everything stay in place. The middle needs something, so I dug around in my Dollar Tree Christmas stash and I found a few items with gold that I think will look nice with the ribbon. Now it's just a matter of assembling everything together. Uh-oh, glitter explosion. You guys, you know I have a love-hate relationship with all things glitter, but I measure the outcome versus the pain of cleaning it up, and I think this one was worth the pain. Now, remember that kind of boring lantern we found for $5? Let's take a look at the jazzed up version. If you were inspired by these DIYs, then click that subscribe button for more home decor ideas every week. And don't forget to check out that playlist in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate your support on my channel, and I hope you have a very creative day, and I'll see you next week. Bye!